Oh my goodness, the internet is blazing right now. The streets are buzzing, Twitter is going crazy, and fans are in utter astonishment. What began as a mere rap feud has now escalated into a full-fledged murder confession captured on camera. Yes, you heard correctly. In front of his close friends and family, D4VDS. It's the same D4VD who has been making waves with his emotive hits laughed and admitted to murdering Celeste. And you know what? The entire thing was released and it has rocked the rap scene. But hold on, it's not as simple as it sounds. Behind the scenes, there is family turmoil, erupting treachery, and dubious partnerships that no one anticipated. Social media is exploding with wild ideas, friends betraying friends, and some individuals claim that this is all a setup, a cover-up, much worse. This is going to shatter their entire universe. So you won't want to miss what comes next. Stay tuned as we delve deeply into every stunning incident, every hidden detail, and every contentious dispute that contributed to this mayhem. The drama is real, the tea is hot, and what about the fallout? Completely barbaric late last week. The controversy began to escalate when D4VD was seen having a furious and chaotic conversation with his closest friends and family. But this time the topic wasn't music or collaborations. No, it was something far more sinister and perverse. For months, there were whispers that D4VD and Celeste, his longtime confidant and purported inspiration, were having a falling out. The internet was bustling with cryptic tweets, dubious Instagram stories, and side-eyeing remarks that followers had caught snippets of. But no one anticipated what was about to happen next. Yes, it was a sneak peek, but it went viral right away. It all happened during a late-night hangout that was captured on video by a crew member. D4VD, who is often cool under pressure, was clearly shaken. His hands shook as he lit the cigarette, and you could see it in his eyes. He appeared to be a guy bearing a burden that he was not yet prepared to discuss. Then, suddenly, he began telling his lads about Celeste's murder. "Hold on, murder." That was his statement. The footage caused the audience to become quiet with stunned expressions, wide eyes, and stuttered breaths. At first, people attempted to dismiss it as a joke, but the manner in which D4VD spoke, calculating and icy as if he were admitting to a sin he was unable to reverse. "You don't understand," D4VD said. "It wasn't meant to end that way." The confession, the tension, and the terror were all captured on tape. "I never wanted it to end this way." The worst part, though, is that everyone in his immediate vicinity immediately began to turn on one another. Charges flew in all directions. "Why don't you tell us about this?" One of my friends yelled. "You accomplished this by yourself." Another questioned, squinting his eyes. The gang nearly got into a brawl since the tension was so high. But someone slapped the phone down to terminate the live feed, which was simply intended to be a relaxing session. The internet took off after that. The video was released on all social media platforms, including Reddit, TikTok, and Twitter. Fans went completely crazy as hashtags like #D4VDConfession and #CelesteMystery quickly became popular. Others couldn't believe their idol was involved in something so sinister, while others said they had always sensed problems beneath the surface. Conspiracy theories became viral. Was Celeste indeed killed? How deep did this go, if at all? Above all, was D4VD actually responsible for it, or was he shielding someone else? The questions continue to mount, but what about the answers? Not a trace in sight. Then followed the unexpected turn of events. Celeste's family broke their silence as the story reached a fever pitch. They released a shocking statement accusing D4VD of not just suppressing information, but also being personally responsible for her death. Rather than expressing grief or begging for privacy, the rap community and fans went into a frenzy when they said icily in their public post that justice will be served and that no one is above it, not even those we once called. Family loyalty lines were established. Even D4VD's closest friends began to doubt what they believed to be true. And the family was split. But hold on, things get messier. A few days following the declaration, Texts purportedly from D4VD's phone were published by a person posing as Celeste's younger brother. The texts, which included eerie pleas for silence, cryptic confessions, and chilly threats, were horrific. One said, "Don't say anything or you'll be the next." The internet went crazy. Fake or real disputes erupted in street forums. Even more well-known rappers and influencers voiced their opinions, with some urging D4VD to take responsibility for his actions and others protecting him. The strain felt oppressive. The pandemonium was growing like a storm that was about to blow. D4VD went totally off the grid was at the core of it all. No tales, no posts, no answers. Fans bombarded his social media accounts with threats and inquiries, but they received nothing but quiet. The radio silence only made matters worse, leading to speculation that he was either preparing his next move or evading the authorities. Insider rumors circulated about clandestine meetings, legal threats, and even risky rivalries that were unrelated to Celeste but could erupt at any time. The energy was high, the chatter was uncensored, and the street vibes were gloomy. This was now a full-fledged soap drama with actual stakes, not simply rap news. When an unexpected, anonymously released video appeared on YouTube, the anxiety skyrocketed even further. In a poorly lit parking lot, depicted a shadowy figure who looked like D4VD meeting someone and exchanging what seemed to be a flash drive. The voices were loud, yet the video was blurry. Fans argued, was this proof, a bribe, or an arrangement? Social media exploded, with comment sections becoming battlefields. One person commented, "He's playing chess, not checkers." Another person added, "Or he's caught in a trap." The drama was completely surprising, captivating, and worth binge-watching. In the midst of all the confusion, D4VD's close pals began sharing their own tales. Some discussed Celeste's poisonous conduct and jealousy, implying that she had adversaries outside of D4V. Others made references to a hidden lover who could have been the true murderous mastermind. "It's much deeper than we realize," an off-camera source stated. Fans devoured it, eager to learn every new detail and juicy tidbit of rumor that may change the course of this convoluted story. Trust me, there's a whole web of lies and backstabbing. Then came the startling family drama. Celeste's own family members accused one another of hiding the truth, which led to a tumultuous public dispute that was evident in scathing live streams and Instagram stories. "You're shielding murderers," an aunt sobbed. In an attempt to defuse the situation, another relative retorted, "We just want peace." The family was shattered, and the suffering was obvious. This was no longer simply online theater. A real-life tragedy was being broadcast live for the world to witness. The whole rap community watched with gaping lips as emotions ran hot and fans were astonished. Just when you thought the situation could get much darker, there were wild claims that D4VD was about to go extinct. Some spoke of underground hideouts and hidden safe homes, while others said he was preparing to escape the nation. Street sources said that he had been seen interacting with dubious individuals connected to organized crime, sparking endless conjecture. It resembled something from a suspenseful film. Fans pleaded for clarification, but D4VD's silence was. The battlefield only became more chaotic as the fallout from the first confession subsided. The once close-knit D4VD group began to fall apart in front of everyone. Friendships fell apart, fissures emerged, and fingers were pointed with a vicious ferocity. Known only as Jay, one of D4VD's closest supporters, went public with a sobbing tirade on Instagram Live, denouncing traitors in the organization. "How could you harm me like this? We were family," he said, his eyes red with tears and his voice breaking. Fans witnessed the treachery in real time, and it was genuine. The scenario descended into complete anarchy as some pals swapped teams and others sided with D4V. However, Celeste admirers weren't sitting in silence. They bombarded all platforms with demands for justice, including prompt punishment and police intervention. One tweet went viral, receiving thousands of retweets in a matter of minutes, with the words, "This isn't just drama. This is murder. Online petitions were made by supporters requesting that authorities look into the matter further. Anger and misunderstanding were rampant on the internet, with social media comments degenerating into furious disputes. On D4VD's videos, the comment sections were a battlefield where trolls flourished. Some admirers offered encouragement, and others shared unpleasant realities. The rap community as a whole felt the weight of the intense emotions. However, in the middle of all of this chaos, Celeste's alleged hidden boyfriend made an unexpected appearance. Lil Mo, a rookie rapper, released a surprise diss track filled with hate and sinister accusations directed against D4VD. He rapped about lying and treachery in the song, and he alluded to having the receipts to what actually transpired the night Celeste died. Deciphering every sentence and every metaphor drove fans insane. One user commented, "This is savage but straight fire." Lil Mo was thrust into the spotlight whether he liked it or not, as the diss tune went viral overnight and became the theme music for the continuing dispute. Although Lil Mo's entrance fueled the flames, it also caused the plot to take a different turn. Some sources hinted that he had his own agenda and that Lil Mo and Celeste were closer than anybody realized, possibly even covertly dating. Theories that Lil Mo was either complicit in the murder or was attempting to divert attention from himself by blaming D4VD were so prevalent on conspiracy forums. Fans pieced together rumors, leaks, and clues like investigators in a crime story, making it an exciting trip. Each twist was more dramatic than the one before it. In the meantime, D4VD remained utterly silent. But behind the scenes, chaos was raging. According to others close to him, his attorneys were frantically trying to limit the harm. Plans for a news conference were repeatedly delayed, and there were rumors of stop-and-desist letters circulating. Rumors circulated that D4VD was assisting the authorities. But some said he was too afraid to speak up for fear that the truth would ruin him. The atmosphere on the street was tense. It's like a ticking time bomb that may explode at any second. Furthermore, the conflict permeated the rap business itself. Larger figures began taking sides, with some denouncing D4VD outright and others praising him as an artist trapped in a nightmare. Subtle subliminal signals were posted on social media, collaborations were terminated, and messages were erased, because it was no longer merely entertainment, but rather raw, intimate, and leaking right from the underground into the mainstream media. It was the type of drama that unnerved everyone. Celeste's family drama also reached a new low. In public, her family continued to exchange accusations. A video of a secret family gathering when angry words were exchanged, like daggers and emotions, were running high was released by one cousin. One family accused another of selling her out for money. Another person, crying, remarked, "We don't know who to trust anymore." It was terrible to see the family dispute, which made the already heated plot even more heartbreaking. Between their devotion to Celeste's legacy and the chaotic reality of what was happening, followers felt caught in the midst. Everyone was kept wondering, though, by the flash drive exchange clip from the parking lot, in an attempt to determine who else was participating and what secrets could be on that disc. Social media detectives examined every second of the video. While some worried it contained incriminating information, others conjectured it provided proof of D4VD's innocence. The drive may even connect D4VD to a larger criminal network, according to street reports, pushing the entire scenario beyond music, drama, and into perilous area. Fans were unable to stop watching, sharing, and discussing because of the agonizing suspense, as if the pressure wasn't enough. A mystery Instagram account named Truth for Salt surfaced, which was only focused on revealing the case's secret truths. The account shared increasingly disturbing blurred photographs, supposed chats, and hacked audio snippets. A third party who could have planned everything was even alluded to in one clip, a puppet master operating behind the scenes. Fans eagerly read every message, both fearing what they could learn and praying for the truth. The situation continued to escalate as the rumor mill went into overdrive. D4VD's mental state appeared to deteriorate amid this turmoil. He broke down, begged for pardon, and said that he was caught in a nightmare in a phone call that was leaked. He cried, "I never wanted to hurt anyone." Fans were taken aback by the rapper's unfiltered passion when he said, "I'm scared of what's coming." While some expressed sympathy and urged compassion, others charged him with manipulation and guilt. This wasn't only a tale. It was actual suffering being expressed in public, and the street vibes were unadulterated and unfiltered. An unexpected announcement from the police came just when everyone believed the issue could not get much worse. Social media was rocked by the declaration that D4VD was a person of interest, and that they were looking into Celeste's murder as a homicide. Fan ideas about upcoming arrests swept the internet when the hashtag #ARRESTD4VD began to trend. Knowing that this may be the start of a protracted, unpleasant court struggle, the music industry prepared for the effect. The entire neighborhood watched with bated breath as emotions ran high. But despite everything, D4VD's devoted followers remained strong and protected him from what they referred to as a media witch hunt. Some set up online fundraisers to cover his legal bills, while others sent encouraging and upbeat words on social media. They retaliated against the flood of vitriol by declaring that he is innocent until proven guilty. This devotion led to a deep rift, transforming the story into a cultural conflict between admirers and detractors. Identity, trust, and surviving in the brutal world of rap fame were the main themes of the story, which went beyond the murder. There was an unprecedented bustle in the streets. The focus of this entire story changed from rumors to a full-fledged legal drama, with the police declaration designating D4VD as a person of interest. It was like being unable to take your eyes off of a slow-motion automobile collision, while detractors intensified their demands for retribution. Admirers who had previously supported D4VD began to doubt everything. The whole rap scene was holding its breath, waiting to see if D4VD would eventually speak up or if the cops would intervene. But we received nothing but stillness. D4VD vanished into the darkness even further. No updates, no posts, and no public announcements. People began to speculate that he had hidden away in an obscure place with the greatest legal team money could buy. Others hinted that this case was more complex and large than anybody could have imagined, including covert encounters with dubious individuals connected to underground organizations. There were wild tales going around the streets. Some claimed he was intending to testify against himself, while others thought he was trying to get revenge on those who had deceived Akeem. Celeste's family increased the pressure in the meanwhile. They delivered a harsh message to D4VD and anybody defending him during a crowded news conference. "Until justice is served, we will never give up," Celeste's mother said, her voice trembling with passion. She described distressing recollections of Celeste's final days, presenting a picture of a lady enmeshed in a web of deceit, terror, and treachery. Everyone in attendance felt shivers from the unvarnished moment, and supporters flocked to social media with #JusticeForCeleste postings, supporting the family's quest. During this time, a fresh leak that purportedly contained a number of private voicemails from D4VD to Celeste, recorded only days prior to her passing, blasted the case wide open. A message of apology, another of desperation, and a last one that alluded to threats from an unidentified source were all disturbing. Fans analyzed every phrase, with some claiming D4VD was attempting to shield her and others seeing it as proof of his guilt. Emotions were running high, and the comment sections erupted into fury, tears, and intense arguments. Lil Mo continued to fuel the flames with additional cryptic messages and diss recordings, demonstrating that he was not only a supporting character but rather a serious competitor in this drama. "You think you're untouchable?" Lil Mo mocked D4VD in a widely shared video. Truth always finds a way. The rap community saw as the rivalry between these two musicians transcended its personal nature and became a metaphor for more significant problems, such as treachery, trust, and the negative aspects of celebrity. Conversations on the street centered on how secrets and envy had tainted their social circles, transforming friends into adversaries in an instant. And the mysteries surrounding the Flash Drive took a new turn just when you thought this story could become any more complicated. According to sources, the disc was turned over to a third party, a whistleblower who vowed to tell the media everything unless they were protected. All of a sudden, people were rushing to discover this individual, and there were whispers that they were being pursued by influential people who wanted to conceal the truth. Fans made wild guesses and imagined cover-ups, bribery, and cover-ups behind the scenes. To make matters worse, the consequences extended to D4VD's musical career. A number of well-known musicians officially separated from one another, ending collaborations and removing references to D4VD. Streaming services began warning about his music, and corporations halted sponsorship partnerships. According to industry experts, unless the rapper cleaned his reputation quickly, Celeste's family persisted in applying pressure on D4VD and anybody protecting him by utilizing every platform at their disposal. Public vigils, impassioned social media messages, and tearful interviews demanded answers while preserving her legacy. Fans sympathized with the family's unadulterated suffering and flooded comment sections with words of support. However, the family drama also turned into a public soap opera, with financial struggles, intimate arguments, and startling accusations amongst family members all taking place in the open, demonstrating that this tragedy was destroying more than just friendships. Even D4VD's own camp was disintegrating. Harsh infighting was exposed by a number of leaked communications, in which crew members accused one another of giving material to the media for their own benefit. There was no trust since the paranoia was so strong. According to some sources, D4VD was even doubting his closest allies, wondering who was still faithful. The situation became extremely unstable as a result of the pressure cooker setting, which encouraged even more careless judgments. His support network, which had previously been strong, was now a battlefield of mistrust and terror. Everyone was taken aback when a new song from D4VD unexpectedly surfaced amid all of this tumult. The song was honest, heartfelt, and filled with mysterious lyrics about regret, anguish, and remorse. Desperate to learn the truth regarding Celeste's death, admirers instantly dissected every word. Some referred to it as a confession, some as an apology, and some as a shrewd attempt to win back the public's affection. Regardless of its purpose, the song went viral and rekindled interest in the unfolding story. However, not everyone was persuaded. D4VD was accused by some fans of manipulating the music to control feelings and avoid facing actual repercussions. Once more, the comment sections turned into battlefields, with ardent fans vehemently defending him and detractors calling for justice. Although the song caused controversy, it served as a reminder to all that the tale was far from over and would continue to change, twist, and